We're sorry to say that this is going to be a video that will shake the very foundation of your financial stability. Yes, we are about to bring you the latest news of an inevitable catastrophe that could lead to massive bankruptcies and an 80% loss in commercial real estate value. This is not just a mere prediction, but a warning that experts are sounding off as the economy heads towards an inevitable crash. The stakes are high and the clock is ticking, and we are going to dive deep into the reasons behind this looming disaster and what it means for you and your properties. If you've gone through our previous episodes, you'll have a clear picture of what's really happening around you. And with the current global economy being on the verge of a massive crisis, bankruptcies can go high, and meanwhile, real estate values are going to crash soon. Now, this is a critical situation that will have a domino effect on various industries, leading to severe economic downfall, and the real estate sector is just one of them. Now, let's have a look how bankruptcies are emerging. Bankruptcies are very much on the rise, and the numbers are quite mind-blowing. In the United States alone, there were over 387,721 cases in 2022, when compared to the massive 413,616 cases in 2021. Well, that might have lessened the anxiety, right? But this was just a painkiller shot. Yes, the situation is expected to worsen as the country is recovering from the effects of the pandemic. Want some proof? Well, then compare this data to the past 5 years. Now that's going to drive people crazy. The impact of these bankruptcies will be felt across industries with significant job losses and a ripple effect on supply chains. Small businesses will be hit the hardest, and the long-term effects of these bankruptcies are likely to be devastating. With commercial real estate value plummeting, things aren't going to be that smooth for Americans in 2023. Yes, according to recent reports, commercial real estate values have plummeted by as much as 30% in some areas, leaving many property owners struggling to keep up with their mortgage payments and expenses. Meanwhile, businesses that rely on commercial real estate are also feeling the heat, with many struggling to pay rent or renegotiate leases in the face of declining revenues. You can say that the pandemic had severely impacted the commercial real estate sector. With many companies forced to close their doors or scale back operations, demand for commercial real estate has plummeted. This has led to a huge list of vacant office buildings, retail spaces, and other commercial properties. But that was 2 years back. The thing is, with remote work becoming a new norm, there has been a significant decrease in demand for office space. As a result, the value of commercial real estate has further plummeted, with an estimated 80% loss in value expected soon. But other than that, there have been several factors too. There are broader economic trends at play, such as the growing dominance of e-commerce over traditional brick-and-mortar retail. As more and more consumers shift their shopping habits online, the demand for physical retail spaces is shrinking. This is putting immense pressure on landlords and property owners who depend on rental income to make ends meet. The decline in commercial real estate values is also having a ripple effect on other sectors of the economy. For example, banks and other financial institutions that have lent money to property owners are starting to feel the squeeze as the value of their collateral declines. This could lead to a wave of loan defaults and bankruptcies, further exacerbating the economic downturn. You are getting it, right? That's where both ends meet. So what does this mean for Americans in the years to come? The outlook is grim. This loss in value will have significant implications for real estate investors and lenders who will face losses on their investments. The ripple effect of this decline will be felt across the economy as the real estate sector is closely intertwined with various industries. As commercial real estate values continue to decline, we can expect to see rising unemployment as businesses are forced to lay off workers or go out of business entirely. This could lead to a spiral of economic decline as consumers cut back on spending, leading to further business closures and job losses. At the same time, we can expect to see a growing divide between the haves and have-nots. Wealthy investors who have the resources to weather the storm may be able to snap up commercial properties at bargain prices, while small business owners and everyday Americans struggle to make ends meet. This could further exacerbate income inequality and social unrest. Oops, now that's bad. Really bad. We can call it an economic fallout. You see, these kinds of economic impacts don't just stop in one place. It just spreads out like an infection. The decline in economic activity, which we're speaking of, will also have significant impact on government revenues, leading to budget cuts and reduced funding for essential services. In short, the economic fallout from this crisis is likely to be felt for years to come, with long-term implications for global economic growth. Now, what's the role of government in the crisis? Let's say if the issues we just spoke about continue to mount, the role of government becomes increasingly important. Many experts argue that without government intervention, the situation could jump out of control, leading to widespread bankruptcies and economic collapse. But what form should that intervention take? Some have called for direct financial assistance to struggling businesses and property owners, while others advocate for regulatory changes that could help ease the burden on those affected. For example, something like relaxing zoning laws to make it easier for businesses to pivot to new uses, or implementing new tax policies that could help offset some of the losses incurred by property owners. You see, at the same time, there are concerns that government intervention could actually make things worse. Some worry that direct financial assistance could lead to a moral hazard, encouraging businesses and property owners to take risks they might not otherwise take if they knew the government would bail them out. Others worry that regulatory changes could lead to unintended consequences, creating new problems down the road. Now, that's a rough spot. So what do? Maybe we should wait for more data. One thing we are sure of is that the current situation demands action. The only question that we see ahead is what will be the future of this crisis. The impact of the economic crisis is likely to be felt by all Americans. As more businesses close their doors, there will be fewer job opportunities available. This will lead to a significant decline in consumer spending. According to a recent report by the National Retail Federation, retail sales have already declined by 8.3% since last year. This number is expected to decline further in the coming months as the economic fallout from the pandemic continues. As more businesses close their doors and more Americans are forced to lay off employees, there will be fewer people in the market for homes. This is likely to lead to significant decline in home values. You see, the economic crisis is not just a problem for the United States. The global economy is also likely to be impacted by the economic fallout from the pandemic. As the United States struggles to recover from the crisis, there will be less demand for goods and services from other countries. This is likely to lead to a significant decline in global trade. In short, the crisis resulting from the increase in bankruptcies and the decline in commercial real estate value will have significant impact on the future of the global economy. The long-term implications of the crisis are difficult to predict, but it is clear that the pandemic has accelerated trends that were already in motion. And now, even if we have started to recover from where we broke off, we got newer problems at hand. Yes, and these are going to have wider consequences for the entire American economy. Want to know more? Then you guys better stay tuned. Anyways, the consequences of this looming catastrophe cannot be overstated. Families will lose their homes, businesses will shutter their doors, and the economy will suffer a devastating blow. And yet, there's still time to prepare. So ask yourself, are you ready for what's to come? Will you be able to weather the storm when it hits? These are questions that demand answers, and the sooner you start preparing, the better off you'll be. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay tuned for more updates on this unfolding crisis. We'll be back with more updates.